What's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving back into Pirate King Adventures against Maha with a team that doesn't use IZO as a friend captain, getting all the way up to level 150 done. I do believe that this team, it can get it done, and I have two different variations for you guys for this particular team. Now, I put out a community post showcasing this team with a little bit of an explanation how it rocks, and hopefully you guys can read that because I was completely wrong with some stuff, because you do need the VV support still, and you do need Ace, Luffy and Ace level limit break 5 to actually utilize this particular team. The Luffy and Ace have been out for so goddamn long that I'm sure you could find, or I'm sure you could have them, or you could use another attack boosting unit. Now the first variation utilizes Carrot and Mr. 3 as a support, and that basically just makes the team no stall. If you guys don't have those supports, I'll showcase the second run where I don't use them, and you can actually get a lot more damage off, and the team works a little bit nicer, but it does take a lot longer. So if you guys are missing IZO friend captains and you want to get it done fast, you're a bit of a whale, you have a bunch of supports, you have these units, try this team out because it gets through it fairly fast and doesn't need an IZO friend captain. I would highly recommend using an IZO friend captain. The Ben Beckman Lucky Root team I put out like day one is still working very, very well, and it's very, very fast. So I would highly recommend using that team if you guys are looking for something to beat this PKA. But basically the combination of Nami and Luffy Yamato take care of all the annoying debuffs on stage 4, and with Perona you can take care of stage 3, and then you just have damage on the final stage. Like I said, if you have an attack boosting unit, you can replace Luffy and Luffy and Ace. If it's any Luffy, really, you can put on a the Brûlé support, and then you can get orb manipulation that way. You can use Brûlé on Nami, that can also work, and then you can bring Vivi down onto Sanji. So you have a lot of options that you can do for this particular team, so it should work quite nicely. On stage 4 against Queen and King, they're going to put up barriers, and they're also going to give us paralysis and bind. But our combination of our caps is removing bind and paralysis, means we don't have to worry about that. And ideally here you want to take out Queen. Queen's the big one. You get recovery, turn to damage, but that doesn't matter too much because we switch into Yamato, so we don't have to worry about those orbs. As you guys can see here, just with the switch of Luffy and Ace and the switch of Luffy Yamato, Luffy and Ace have a lot of damage, and they can actually kill quite nicely. I actually did something wrong with Perona, and Perona gave me an attack boost. A little bit annoying, but not the end of the world, so we move. On to the King fight now. We are basically going to remove the damage reduction with the Nami special, because we can use the Nami special twice thanks to the paralysis. It works on stage 3, and it works on stage 4. It works insanely well. We don't need her special for the final stage because we're using Sanji, so we still get the base stats, we still get the chain boost. We got all those shenanigans, and we can sort of just move on from there. Unfortunately, we lose her conditional boost because we don't get the paralysis, but that is not the end of the world at all. So on this particular team too, we are going to switch into Yamato on the final stage, but you get so much damage output literally just with Ace that you can get it done nice and easily. On the final stage against Maha, he does a bunch of damage. I think it's like 40k. He gives you special bind, which you go down to 4 turns thanks to Perona, and then 6 turns of despair, having 6 turns of defense up and threshold. So very, very annoying stuff. He has a barrier as well, but the Zora support takes care of that. And in the second video, part of the video, you guys will see a run where I don't use that Zora support. I actually use the Whitebeard support. So there are other options if you guys are missing support. So I'll showcase that as well. But basically, to remove the block orbs, we have Luffy and Ace. We also have Sanji, who can remove block orbs with his chain shenanigans as well. You basically just want to make sure you get the tandem orb on Nami. Her super class is going to remove the threshold. Sanji removes the defense up, and then you have an orb boost and a color affinity boost thanks to Luffy Yamato, as well as some Wano orbs and your color affinity buff. So it works quite nicely. You need to make sure that you use Luffy Yamato before you switch out of Sanji's captain. So we're just gonna. Otherwise, you'll end up with a Wano orb on Nami, and you don't want that because you need a tandem orb on Nami, so that way you can access her super tandem ability. Her super tandem ability is basically just going to give you more damage. Unfortunately, like I said, you don't have the conditional boost, but as you can see with all of our buffs, we have orbs, we have attack, we have chain shenanigans, we have rush, we have everything going for us on this team. Like, we have everything going for us, and as you guys will see, as soon as we tap with any of our super tandem characters, we just say goodbye to Maha. So that's the team. Let's move on to a more accessible support variation in this now, which looks a little bit like this. Now, the only support that we kept was Kuma, as well as Vivi. Unfortunately, there's no other support that can remove threshold for this team that I know of. If you guys know of one, let me know in the comment section below. to remove one turn of strategy. It's just one turn, that's all you gotta remove. It's very, very annoying that it's only one, but look, it is what it is. And then we use the Whitebeard support on Luffy and Ace, so that way if you don't have the Zoro, you are good from there. We took off Carrot, we took off Mr. 3, so if you are missing those speed supports, don't stress, this team will still work. This variation of the team does more damage. It's a lot more secure, but it does take an extra turn to stall, which is a little bit annoying, and obviously it does take a lot of switches with Rayleigh Gaban as well as Luffy Yamato. But the idea here is we actually switch into Luffy on the final stage rather than switching into Yamato, so we get an extra strength unit. And then with the super swap of Rayleigh Gaban, it makes stage 4 a lot easier to kill on turn 1 because you have the chain boost, so that way you can just easily take out Queen, and you're not restricted to just the small attack boost and the small color affinity boost that Luffy, Yamato, and Rayleigh Gaban provide. But on stage 3, it runs the same. You just use the Perona special. The Perona special is going to get around the special, the Perona herself gets around the special blind, and then her special gets around the attack down and the burn. She gets color affinity to Cerebrals, but look, we don't have any Cerebrals that actually work here. But then we also use Nami to get around the damage reduction. Nami's going to get her back her special with the paralysis, and it just helps you absolutely decimate poor old Apu here. So make sure to use that special to remove that damage reduction. Ideally, you want to tap with Luffy and kill with Luffy. It's very easy to do this. Just remove that Super Bomb slot on Nami, and then Luffy killing will actually give himself 1 turn of Super Swap charge. Works really, really nicely. On the Queen and King stage now, if you get that Super Swap of Rayleigh Gaban, you're going to do a lot more damage here. You remove the paralysis with Nami, the bind with Luffy Yamato, and then you can just basically switch and just tear through the damage here. I didn't use my switches properly here. Ideally, you want to switch into Ace, and you want the Super Swap of Rayleigh Gaban. But as you guys can see, literally just with a small attack boost and a small color affinity boost, my Ace was able to absolutely decimate Queen. My Ace is 150 though, so if yours isn't, you might need those particular buffs to give the chain boundary as well as the chain buff. And the combination of the two, you'll have no issues killing Queen. But on the second turn, taking out King is very easy because we get to use the Nami special. Using the Nami special is going to remove the damage reduction. It gives us base stats. It gives us chain boost. And it's very, very easy to take out King at this particular point. That damage threshold is so friggin' annoying to deal with. And unfortunately, Frankie's been, like, bug fixed or nerfed, I guess. So unfortunately, Frankie doesn't work here. Which kind of sucks because Frankie's a shooter and you could have done some cool stuff with IZO. On the final stage against Maha, unfortunately, we don't get around the barrier this time, but we still get around the special bind the same way with Rayleigh Gaban. We get around the Despair with the Whitebeard and the Kuma supports, and then to get around the defense up and the threshold, we're still using Nami and Sanji. We're rotating the block orbs with multiple ways of Luffy and Ace as well as Sanji. We get an orb boost from Rayleigh Gaban. We get an attack boost from Luffy Luffy Ace, and then we get a additional damage from Luffy and Yamato. And with that, we basically have everything we need to absolutely decimate Maha. This is only like level 120 because I kept stuffing up runs. I kept like missing stall chances when I was like testing the no stall variation of this team. But like, you guys will see how much damage you do, and you have another strength unit about to hit. So if you guys are utilizing this team to sort of get to 150, it'll do it very, very nicely. And hopefully you guys have summoned for these anniversary characters, because when New Year's comes around and Anniversary comes around, they release some of the best units of the game. And this team right here has 2 of the #1 characters, being Nami and Sanji, with a crazy super tandem, with a crazy rush ability. And you actually have the final tap of Luffy and Yamato here. So if you get a level 5 Luffy Yamato, this team is going to do absolute bits. Like, disgusting amounts of damage. Getting around the barrier with rush is not a problem at all. And as you can see there, Luffy and Ace just go absolutely AWOL. So that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there, bell, like, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later!